Hi guys and welcome back to Macaroon. I'm Joanna and I'm sorry about my voice today because I'm just getting over a cold. This is a hugely requested tutorial based on the mysterious slime de-activator that I used in my Souffle Slime video. So many people requested a DIY version and this experiment turned out much better than I expected. So be sure to keep on watching to learn a ton of new stuff about slime. First up, this video is a collaboration with Anita Stories, who was one of the winners for my 1 million subscriber giveaway. Be sure to check out her video on the best no-glue slime recipes, which I've linked below. And of course, please subscribe to both of our channels for more slime experiments and DIYs. As many people might remember, I found this bottle inside a slime kit and it's simply labeled softener. To my amazement, just a few drops turned a whole batch of overactivated slime super soft again. This is incredibly useful because it means you can play with your slime for much longer and you'll save money from not having to buy new products. If you have a slime shop, then you can rescue old or overactivated slimes without having to throw them out. I picked 5 of your best suggestions to test out, and please note that the screenshots shown are just examples. The credit goes to everyone who left that idea, but unfortunately there's just not enough space to show every comment on screen. The most popular suggestion was acid, which makes a lot of sense since slime activator is always alkaline. By reversing the pH, it seems likely that you can change the consistency of slime back to where it started. I even bought a packet of test strips so we can narrow down the pH of each ingredient. Another popular theory was glycerine or glycerol, which is a colourless, non-toxic liquid that's often added to food or cosmetics. And the final suggestion is baby oil, which I actually forgot to include in this video. However, I will test it out on Instagram, so please follow my account under my username Macaroon if you want to see how it turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is to make a deliberately overactivated slime. I'm using some white glue, shaving foam, and adding a ton of slime activator. I also mixed in some food coloring so you can see it better on camera. The result is this rubbery slime that rips easily instead of stretching. Now I'm going to split this up into 6 cups so we can test the different deactivators. First up is glycerine, which can be bought from pharmacies or baking supply shops. Next comes powdered citric acid, which you can also get from pharmacies or health food shops. The third one is liquid citric acid, which I got from the cleaning supply section in the supermarket. This is used to descale kitchen appliances, but according to the ingredients, it actually contains food-grade citric acid. Since we're on the topic of acid, the next one is vinegar, which would be much easier to find than the previous ingredients. And the last one is simply lemon juice. Citric acid in German is actually the same word as lemon juice, so I thought this was a very obvious one to try out. As the control experiment, I'm going to test a tiny bit of the deactivator from the original slime kit. First, I decided to test the pH, and I was almost 100% sure that this was some type of acid. However, to my surprise, when squeezing it out of the bottle, I realized it actually had a slightly thick consistency that looks similar to glycerine. And when I added the test strip, it didn't change at all, which means that this actually has a neutral pH. This was quite shocking since I really didn't expect a neutral liquid to have such an effect on slime. So even though this looks like glycerin and has a neutral pH, we can only know for sure by testing out the real thing. Glycerin is a tasteless, non-toxic liquid that's often used in baking or as part of beauty DIYs. It has a pH of 7, which makes it completely neutral. So I'm simply going to add a tiny bit to the slime and stir it around. To my amazement, the glycerin worked perfectly as a deactivator and turned the slime soft and stretchy again. This means that the little bottle from the slime kit really was glycerin and makes it a completely safe ingredient to deactivate slime with. Here's a quick comparison before and after so you can really see the difference. Glycerin is a common component in many beauty products, so this also explains why many people actually use body lotion to soften slime. However, I'm still curious to see whether the theory using acid works. Touching any type of acid with your bare hands can be extremely dangerous, so please do not repeat this experiment using unknown ingredients. In my case, I'm using food-safe acids, however I'm still taking safety precautions since I don't know how strong the concentration is. First off is powdered citric acid, which many people recommended in the comments. The pH test shows an extremely high acidity. I poured a bit of this into the slime and mixed it around. So it seems that citric acid definitely works because the amount I added ended up turning the whole slime into liquid. In order to deactivate your slime more effectively, you only need to use a few drops of this. The next ingredient is liquid citric acid used for cleaning. I was really careful with this one because I had no idea how concentrated it was, and the pH test also showed a very high acidity. Though please remember that pH is not a reliable indicator of how safe or dangerous an acid is. There are many substances with a less acidic pH that can cause serious injuries to skin, so this is a final reminder not to experiment with or touch any acids that you're not familiar with. This time I used a pipette to add single drops of citric acid to the slime. I only needed 3 drops before the slime started turning soft again. The next ingredient is vinegar. Any type of vinegar is okay, but if your slime is pale in color, then it's best to use a transparent one. This deactivator also worked perfectly, however you have to add it drop by drop. I found it very interesting that 2 drops didn't make a difference, but the 3rd drop had an immediate effect on the slime. And the final test is lemon juice. This also has a very high pH, however I noticed that you need to use a bit more of this than pure citric acid. For example, I used 3 drops of citric acid, but I needed about 6 drops of lemon juice to achieve the same effect. However, the total difference is minimal, so lemon juice is a really cheap and effective way to soften your slime. In conclusion, I was amazed that all 5 of your suggestions worked perfectly. My personal favorites are lemon juice and glycerine because these are cheap, safe and effective. If you make a lot of slime, then you should definitely get glycerine, because it's a lot gentler to your skin than acidic deactivators. If you just need a quick and easy option to soften slime, then lemon juice is the most convenient thing to find. Since you only need a few drops, you can even use lemon slices that you get for free from restaurants or in drinks. The other 3 deactivators are also good, but I'm not a huge fan of the smell of vinegar, and I found citric acid a bit too complicated to get hold of. This project also explained a lot of things from my 20 slime experiments video. I didn't know why some ingredients cause the slime to turn sticky, however now it's obvious that they must have contained some kind of acidic ingredient, such as the tea bag, or some form of glycerine, such as the shower jelly. So I hope this video is interesting and you learned some new things about making slime. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram to see how the test using baby oil turned out. This is Joanna, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!